All right, Kenny, that was an awesome commentary, I gotta say. Very, very exciting game. And we'll be moving on right now to the quiz section of this week's challenge. But first off, Kenny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from in real life, what race you play, I guess what you do in life, if you want to talk about that, other than being an awesome commentator. Yeah, so go right ahead.
Well, thank you for the introduction, Cholera. As you all know, my name is Kenny. I'm 21 years old. I do live in the Seattle area. If you are in the Seattle area, I live in Kirkland, which is just across the water from Seattle. Outside of commentating and playing Starcraft, of course, I do work, actually. You'd be surprised to know that, as it seems I have no life. I do work in the tech industry. I do a lot of I've worked in a lot of call centers, things like that. I just started a new job. Actually, I haven't started quite yet. I started in about another week, doing kind of similar work to that in downtown Seattle. Outside of just gaming, which is probably my favorite thing to do, I do enjoy skiing a lot. I've been skiing since I was about 3 years old. And I do have a fiance, and we are expecting a baby, which will be in September. So I'm excited about that as well. So that's a little bit about myself.
Wow, congratulations, Kenny. I didn't know about that, and you were engaged, but that is really, really serious business, and that is awesome. So yeah, let's move on to the StarCraft quiz here. Like I said, it's divided into two parts. The first 10 questions are about pro gaming trivia, and they're in general order of increasing difficulty. So let's begin. Question 1. Before Stork, which player was known as the King of Silver for his frequent second place finishes?
Hmm. Uh, I'm just gonna take a stab and say Reach.
Question 2. Which player revolutionized Zerg play by his consistent use of early Dark Swarms and Lurker Ling combinations in Terran vs. Zerg?
July Zerg.
Number 3. Which player has the nickname Genius Terran?
Genius Terran. That would be. I don't know.
Number 4. Name 3 non-Koreans who have joined Korean pro teams throughout the history of pro gaming.
Elki, Hydra, and recently Noni.
Very good. Number 5. The Ever 2008 OSL was played 2 seasons ago, with the finals taking place in July of 2008. Who played in the finals?
The finals of 2008, I believe, was Jaedong versus Flash.
Okay. Question 6. Name 2 out of the 3 other players who played in Bisu's recent MSL Round of 32 Group A of the Lost Saga MSL.
Let's see. That would be, oh gosh, I should know this.
You can name 3 players, and if 2 of them are right, you get credit.
Okay. In the round of 32, in Bisu, 3 players would be, gosh, I know this just a sec. Just watched one of them, I don't know why. It'd be Jangbi, gosh, what's that other top's name? Why am I blanking out? I'm just gonna go with Jangbi for now. I'm completely drawing a blank right now.
That's fine. If you think about it anytime later on, we can go back. Question 7. There are 6 players in pro gaming history who have won 3 or more Star League titles total. Name 5 of them. You can use 6 tries.
Okay, July Zerg, Red Nada, iloveOov, um, wait, who would be the name? Jaedong, I want to say, yeah, Jaedong, Reach, and let's see, who am I thinking? July Zerg, Boxer.
Okay. Question 8. Currently, there are only 2 pro gamers who have played more than 100 games, who have a 66% or higher win rate overall. Name one of them.
I'm gonna go with Jadong.
Question 9. Going by ELO score and recent performances, who is currently the best player on the team OGN Sparkies?
OGN Sparkies, that would be Lita.
Question 10. Which current pro gamer with 50 plus total games has the highest lifetime win rate in Zerg versus Protoss play? And by that I mean which current Zerg pro gamer?
Top percentage for Zerg versus Protoss play. To be honest, I don't know, so I'm just going to take a random stab at it. I'm going to just say July Zerg.
Okay. Alright, part 2, StarCraft knowledge. First 4 questions, I just want a relatively short answer. Probably one sentence can describe this. Alright, question 1. Why is +2 ground mechanized attack an especially important upgrade level in Terran versus Terran play?
The reason for the +2 being so critical in Terran vs. Terran play is the ability for units to, or for siege tanks to take out other tanks within one less hit than usual.
Good. Question 2. Name 2 reasons why you would bring SCVs with your force if you're performing a Terran slow push against a Protoss opponent.
Because a slow push is important to have lots of turrets and buildings in the middle to kind of clog up the area, so mostly for turrets though.
Good. Question 3. Among pro gamers, which race is statistically favored on the map Rush Hour 3 in the Terran versus Protoss matchup? It's also favored heavily towards one of these races, but at least we're using pro gamer stats right now.
I have to say that that would be heavily favored in the Terran's advantage.
Question 4. Say Backhoe is playing Jadong, and he has unupgraded Zealots fighting Jadong's fully upgraded Ultras, which have 6 armor. How much damage will his Zealot do in one full attack to the Ultralisk?
He would do, let's see, I want to say it, but I don't know yet. Just 10 damage, I want to say.
Question 5, and you have a minute for this about. Describe the Bisu build.
The Bisu build, if I know it correctly, basically would be against Zerg, and it's usually an opening where you do a standard kind of early expansion into a Stargate build, which you can either from there kind of go off in one of 2 directions. Either you can go to Starport and focus more on the I guess more on the Corsair side of things and bring Reavers along with that, or drop ships depending on what kind of style of play you want to play and which map it is. Or you can go into from a starport into the Citadel of Adun to High Templar build, which from there is obviously focuses more heavily on the storming and DT drops.
Okay. Question 6. And you can ask me to repeat this again, but I'll try to say it slowly. Say a Zerg player sees with an Overlord that a Protoss who has gone Forge Fast Expand has his Forge spinning very early. If the Zerg has no other scouting information, what is the most likely build he can assume the Protoss will do?
Most definitely probably going for a +1 speed leg with maybe a couple Archon attack, which is pretty common for the most part.
What's the benefit of having an early +1 attack as a Protoss player?
It's very advantageous for the fact that it only takes 2 hits for the Zealots to kill Lings, which is really, really useful.
Okay. Okay, finally for this question, what are two builds that the Zerg can do to counter the Protoss's build?
The one we just went over.
Yes.
Let's see. I've seen, I think most of the time, there's two different builds, I guess, that could counter this pretty well. One I've seen is an early expand with kind of or you go speed for your Zerglings, and you can go for an early break, or you can do two expansion into and kind of sunk up your natural and go for early Hydralisk, or I guess one more that you can do, which isn't necessarily as effective because if they are carrying Archons in their leg rush, it's going to completely rape you. You can go for a 2-hatch Muta build, which is really nice if they only go Zealots, because obviously Zealots can't fight Mutalisks, so yeah.
Very nice. Okay, and as precisely as you can in a minute or so, describe the build order for a Protoss 1-base DT drop build against a Terran.
The builder, okay. Start off with you'd start off with an 8 pylon. I usually don't scout after pylon, so 8 pylon and then into your gateway, which will be at 10. Gas at usually right away after your gateway, which usually is at 11. Build probes till about 14 pylon. After you 14 pylon, as soon as your gateway is warping in, you're going to warp a cybernetics core in. After you warp a cybernetics core in, then I guess you can do it two different ways. You usually add another gateway, and you have three. Sorry, I forgot to say you have 3 probes on gas, and then as soon as you get your second gateway up, your cybernetics core should just be finishing, and after your cybernetics core finishes, you should be able to put down your Citadel of Adun, and then after your Citadel of Adun, you can put down your Dark Temple Archive. Sometimes to trick out the Terran, if you'd like to play tricky, you can throw up range if you have enough gas and minerals at the time, as long as it's not slowing your build down. You can throw up range so he thinks you're going like a 2-gate range build, and then you can just trick him as soon as you kill his probe with as soon as you kill his SCV with either your probes or maybe a goon if you create an early goon, which you can do, but I suggest just doing a zealot if possible. But see, a lot of the time if you do that, they'll think you're going DTs, so it's kind of depends on the situation, but that would definitely be the smartest way to do it, and then cancel, and then you just throw up your Citadel and then your Templar Archives directly after your Citadel of Adun has gone down.
Okay, assuming you have done some damage to the Terran but not killed him with this build, what is the most likely tech you will go for next?
Likely tech? Well, I would usually early expand after you do a Dark Templar rush on
Right, I just want to know the tech.
Oh, okay.
What's the most likely tech?
Well, the most likely tech would be Arbiters after that.
Okay, that's what I was looking for. Alright, thank you very much for participating in this exam. And now we go on to Kenny's answers. Kenny's answers for programming trivia here, as you can see, he got 4 out of 10 right. He came close on question 7, where he was supposed to name players who won more than 3 OSLs or MSLs, but he missed Savior and Bisou, both of which have won a lot of MSLs and OSLs. And here are Kenny's answers for Starcraft knowledge. He did very well, got 3 out of 4 right. Only missed the Ultralist question, which everybody has gotten wrong. If you watched all these videos in order, you'll know that. And finally, here are my reviews of his long answers. For the Bisou build, he got he got the Forge Fast Expand part right, and indeed all the things he talks about, like Sarah Reaver and early High Templars and DT drops, are all things that Bisou does, but they're not what we would call the Bisou build in capital letters, which is of course mid-game Corsair DT. And so I only gave him a 3 out of 10. For question 2, I like that he correctly identified the +1 speed lot attack. He got it pretty much right by talking about either speedlings or getting +1 carapace or mutalisks, although he didn't mention lurkers, so I gave him a point off because lurkers are a great counter against +1 speed lots, of course. And finally, for the last question, I gave him full credit for a very detailed and precise description of a DT drop build. The only difference between his build and my description in the answers was that he went for an early 2-gate option. In mine, I would only go for 1 gate and then build my second gate when the Citadel's almost, I'm sorry, when the Templar Archives is almost finished. But of course, either is viable. And he is correct with the fact that Arbiters are the correct follow-up tech once you exhaust the Terran scans and you've done some damage to them. Alright, and here are the final results. Kenny got a 20 out of 50 on the trivia section and a 37 out of 50 on the knowledge section, giving him a total of 57 points. So, thank you very much, audience, for watching. Please do go to the link in the video description and vote for which of the 3 commentators you thought did best. And voting this week will actually end on Monday, not on Sunday at noon as usual. Probably Monday evening, because I am putting up these videos a day and a half later than otherwise because of how difficult they were to make. But thank you all for watching. I am the host of SC2GG.com Commentator Idol, and have a good night.